Nanovor hacked.
Dana waited patiently by the door beside the two teachers guarding it. The science fair doesn't open until 9 o'clock, the girls' gym teacher, Coach Albertson, said. Dana sighed and blew her bangs back. She pulled her phone from her purse and sent a text to Nathan. He appeared at the door in 30 seconds, poking his head out. Sorry, Coach Albertson. We failed to get Dana her badge in time, he said, turning on his charm the adult smile. The teacher relaxed considerably and said, Of course, Nathan, but you know we have to abide by the rules. In you go, Miss Diamondback. Dana accepted the orange tag and lanyard from Nathan, only to have it snatched from her when she got inside the gym. Thanks, Dana said. Nathan cast another look at her. Sure, whatever, just don't cause any trouble. Wouldn't dream of it, she said, smiling. The gymnasium had been transformed to seem almost circus fair-like, with the different stalls each showing science projects. Dana passed the solar system model and agricultural experiments better off in an elementary school fair. She also saw food booths with solar-powered popcorn poppers, homegrown rock candy, and a complicated Rube Goldberg-like machine. She'd had a charming intro on the tip of her tongue, but she stopped short when she saw Lucas's booth. A store mannequin torso, arms, and head rose from a white box. She wore a gypsy kerchief and had light bulbs for eyes. Attached to the white box was a plaque. Madame Zeldara, fortune teller. Wow, she said. Drew and Nathan stood with their backs to her, cleaning up the booth. So, where's Mr. Sapphire? I figured he'd be here to cheer Lucas on, Nathan asked Drew. He was polishing the plaque that bore Madame Zeldara's name, or at least help us set up. Drew shrugged. Lucas said he'd had an accident at home. Oh man, is it serious? Not that kind of accident. One of his inventions went all insane on him. Spewed toothpaste all over the bathroom. I blame gremlins. He'll pull in sometime later, I expect. Nathan laughed. I thought he was supposed to be one of the greatest minds of his generation. Drew raised an eyebrow. And have you never forgotten a line on stage, Romeo? Nathan shut his mouth with a click. After a moment he grinned and said, Point taken. Dana approached purposefully, letting her feet fall heavily so they'd hear her. Nathan looked guarded. Drew squinted at her. What is she doing here? She asked Nathan. Nathan shrugged. Dana smirked. I caught a ride-in with my dad. Hey, is Lucas around? Nathan jabbed his thumb down the line of stalls. He's helping Mark Apple with his Twinkie experiment. Apparently there was a disaster involving a hungry Boston Terrier. That Lucas is a good guy, Dana said. Drew glared at her. You really think you need to tell us that? Madame Zeldara is something else, isn't she? Asked Dana, circling the machine, casting her eyes over it. Dana, do you really need to be here? This is a private project, Drew said, her voice even. No, it isn't. Not once the judges see it. They'll be so amazed this will be all over the internet and papers. He's going to win for sure. Dana jiggled a locked door on the back of the white box. Hey, Drew said, grabbing Dana's arm. Stay out of there. Calm down, freshman, Dana said coldly. I just wanted to see how he put it together. Nathan fidgeted with his badge. Then maybe you should come back later when Lucas is here, actually showing what Madame Zeldara can do. Dana straightened and smiled at them both. Oh, I already know what she can do. They stared at her. Yeah, Lucas showed me. Their stunned silence was music to her ears. Nathan looked horrified, like he'd opened up the biggest box of worms, while Drew looked like she was preparing to sit Lucas down and wrap his ears around his head. The tension was broken by Lucas, who came up behind Dana. Hey, Dana, I didn't know you'd be here early. Dana gave him a hug and pointed at Madame Zeldara. This is amazing, Lucas. You're going to beat the pants off of anyone else. Lucas looked down, his ears turning red. Hey, Drew, can you give me a hand down at Mark's booth? We need someone with a good mind for chemistry. Sure, Drew said. It'll be good to stretch my legs anyway. She pointedly did not look at Dana as they left the booth. Dana dropped her brilliant smile and faced Nathan. Excellent. I didn't think we'd get this chance. Unlock that back door. I needed to get a data port. Wait, what? Nathan raised his hands. No way am I helping you sabotage Lucas's project. She placed her hands on her hips. Okay, Nathan. I'm not going to sabotage anything. I told you I want him to win. I just need to plug something into a data port. Or should I tell your precious freshman how the snake pit found out about the Nanovor in the first place? Would you like them to know that? Nathan shrank under the blackmail, his broad shoulders slumping forward. Fine. The key is in the front pocket of Lucas's backpack. Her deft fingers opened the hinged door, and she grabbed a dongle out of her backpack, plugging it into a USB port and plugging her phone into the other end. What are you doing, Dana? Nathan sounded tired. Just a little data recording. The transmitter I just plugged in will send Zeldara's data to my phone. Nothing worse than pirating a song off the net. It was only a matter of time now. She had to find her dad.